Hello to all of my peeps. It's so good to see you here today. From My Chair, episode 212. Yes, I have my wonderfully acclaimed BFF in ministry for another week. I'm excited. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we'll get 2 weeks in with this lesson, and maybe 3. We'll see. For sure, it'll be 2. It's such good stuff. I tell you, we started a Bible study every first Monday night of the month. We started it back in September. Faces of Friendship by Debbie Pride. We've been using this book, and we tandem teach. And I know I've been telling you all this the last couple weeks, but I've got to promote it again just in case this is your first time listening or watching. And we tandem teach, and I wanted Ann to come and be a guest on YouTube, the YouTube channel today in the last several weeks, because there are some friendships. The Faces of Friendship is what it's called. But some of the lessons that she's been teaching have just, oh my goodness, they've been so good. And I wanted you to hear them as well. And she's being a great help to me also. Loyalty. She is the epitome of loyalty. Be loyal to your pastor and your pastor's wife. It's not a common thing to be loyal. But I appreciate the loyalty of Ann Riker. I was thinking the other day, remember when we were singing? We were singing a special, and as we were singing, I was just thinking when I was laughing, I'm like, y'all get a kick out of this. This is what kind of person she is. We're singing a duet, I think.
Yes.
We're singing a duet, and all of a sudden, we're standing behind the podium and the pulpit, and all of a sudden I feel something warm on my feet. And I looked down kind of while we were singing, and I couldn't move my feet anymore. And my slip had fallen down, and it was on my feet. And we both, after we sang, as we were singing, I'm thinking, what in the world am I going to do with this thing? And so we both kind of, after we sang the duet, we both kind of kicked it under the pulpit. I know. I was like, oh my goodness, only her. But it was very hard to walk down from that special, not just laughing. I kind of ditched that undergarment after that. I know. It's like, oh my goodness, so embarrassing. But yes, we kept that between us for a very, very long time, and we laugh about it now. But get somebody that you can laugh with and make mistakes with, and it's okay. I love that about her. Today, we're going to talk about some friends in the scriptures that were feuding friends, right?
Yes,
feuding friends. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you and teach us something about feuding friends.
Our feuding friends. So we're going to be talking about these feuding friends are 2 women.
Oh, brother,
okay?
2 women. Okay.
2 women, and the women are Yodius and Syntyche.
Okay.
All right. So, why were they feuding? What causes a feud? A feud comes about because of a disagreement.
Yeah.
All right, and so we all have differences of opinions than everyone. We all have preferences that don't always match with other people, and that's okay. So if I ask everyone who's watching today, okay, I need you to pick a time and a day of the week for a Bible study that works well for you.
Y'all need to do Bible study. Start a Bible study in your church, yes. But I guarantee you if we did that,
it would all be different because we all have different schedules. Yeah. We all have different things going on. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that because that's just life. Mm-hmm. But we wouldn't be in agreement. But, what do we do with that disagreement? Since we're not in agreement, we're in disagreement. What do we do with that? And what we do with disagreements, that really tells us if we allow something to grow and become a feud, because a feud is not a little thing, it's a big thing, and it takes time to grow.
And it takes 2 people.
Yes.
It's not a feud if I keep it to myself and okay, just let you have your opinion, but it takes 2 people.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yes. That makes me think of Patch. You remember the Sands of Time?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I'm Peggy McGreedy. He's like, who are you? Right. He's like, I'm your arch nemesis. And Patch is like, okay, but how can you be, like you said, it takes 2 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If there aren't 2 people, then there's not a feud.
There's not a feud.
You're right.
You might not
like someone, but it doesn't mean that it's a feud. And so what is disagreement? It's a competitive or opposing action.
Ooh.
You know, something that goes against what you're trying to do, or is just something that's incompatible, it doesn't fit.
Right.
It might not necessarily be going against what you're doing, but it doesn't fit. All right, and that's okay. It's to fail to be in agreement or accord, and the Bible talks so much about being in one accord.
Yeah.
As
wow.
Christians, we
True.
should be in one accord. And of
True
course,
that.
you're not going to agree with everyone all the time about everything, and that's okay. There's some things that we should be incompatible with, and one of those is sin.
Yes.
And I think that is, we've been talking about growing friendships God's way, and things that grow need roots.
Well, right. Well, I'm not a good friend to you if I agree with your sin.
No, you're not.
I'm not a good friend at all. So it's like if there's sin, I need to feud with that. It's like, no, I don't want you to sin. I want to be a good friend. But so a lot of this, we're talking about more of the simple things.
The simple,
yeah,
yes.
the things that like, you know, get under our skin about each other.
Yes.
Sin, let's set it straight. No, you're not going to agree with your friend on sin. Be a voice against that and try to help them. But we're not talking about sin.
No, we're not. We're talking about little things, like she
Right.
said. Like these two women, all right,
Oh, yeah.
Euodias and Syntyche were mentioned in the book of Philippians. And at this time, if you turn your Bibles, we're going to start in Philippians chapter 4. Paul was writing to the church at Philippi to encourage them to continue in the Lord's work that was going on there. He wasn't there. He had been there and he had left. And now he's writing to encourage them. And in chapter 4, he mentions specifically these two women by name.
He calls them out,
He
don't
calls
he?
them out. And that's a sad thing. I would
Yeah.
not want anybody to have, no one likes to be called out.
Right.
Or called
Right.
on the carpet for something. But let's read Philippians chapter 4 and verse 2. He says, I beseech Euodias and beseech Syntyche that they be of the same mind in the Lord. So these two women were obviously didn't have the same mind, and a disagreement had grown over time, so much that Paul, like we say, had to address it. We don't know the cause of the feud. I think if it was something that was really, really sinful, he probably would have mentioned that sin.
Right.
And
It was probably
addressed it.
something simple, to be real honest with you.
Something
but he
simple.
saw that it was probably affecting other people. you
Yes, yes, and we have to remember that is the saying, no man is an island unto themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Because what we do affects people, affects other people, whether we realize it or not.
Oh, yeah.
All
It
right.
is.
And so there's collateral damage. We think about feuding, we think about fights, we think about war. There's collateral damage when there are feuds. And this could be fellow believers, or just in general, the bigger thing is the cause of Christ.
Yeah.
What we're trying to accomplish for Christ can get damaged because we're feuding.
And that's exactly what Satan wants. He wants to damage the cause of Christ, and he will use feuding friends
To do
to
that.
damage the cause of Christ and fellow believers, definitely.
Yes.
And he would love to do it. I bet that's why. You think that's why Paul mentioned that?
Probably,
Because
because-
he would see that what they were feuding about was damaging the cause of Christ. Wow, that's interesting.
And Satan, he just wants us to do nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right. He doesn't want us to continue to do what Christ has for us to do, or to be able to influence others.
Yeah.
To-
Because your influence is compromised,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Do you get that? Our influence is compromised when you feud with your friend, when you feud with that other believer in
In
Christ.
Christ.
And we're even talking about women here,
Yes.
two women in the church. Your influence is compromised. And so, yeah, that's good. Keep going. This is
So
good.
a feud grows. We're talking about those sort of things, but it's a disagreement that leads to hurt feelings.
Oh,
And that's a big thing. We
Yeah.
have to control our feelings and not let our feelings control us.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with having feelings, but it's what we let the feelings make us do or say.
Right.
We have to be careful about those things, because we're the only ones that can control our feelings. We can't depend on other people to control our feelings.
That's true. Well, it means that the Holy Spirit's not controlling us. We
Yeah,
are
are
controlling
controlling us.
ourselves,
Yes.
yes, by our feelings.
Because
Wow.
the Holy Spirit should be controlling our spirits.
That's true. In our
That's true.
responses.
In
Yeah.
our responses.
True that.
And so we must remember that we plant and water seeds in the relationships in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about growing godly friendships. Let's talk about a plant. A plant has roots.
Okay. Yes.
And we need to find the root of feud. Why do we feud with people? What causes us?
It's good.
All right.
Because if you can find the root, then you can find the cause. You find that cause and you can fix it, right?
Yes, you can fix it. You can avoid it, and you'll find your triggers,
Mm-hmm.
and that way you can avoid. Okay, so I see this coming, so I need to put this in check.
All right. So give us some roots
right.
of this thing.
So we'll talk about the bad roots. I'm gonna call these bad roots because later we're gonna talk about good roots.
Okay.
In our friendships, but anger.
Ooh.
Number one, I think is anger.
Yeah.
All right. So is anger wrong?
No.
No, the Bible. No, it's not. We have Ephesians 4, 26 and 27. So I'm going to read those for you right now. It says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Neither give place to the devil." And I read that, I was like, oh, we always talk about let not the sun go down on your wrath, but when we do that, we're giving the devil place in our lives and allowing him to come into our life.
Yeah. Wow.
And do some damage there.
Goodness.
So Satan uses the anger to make us ineffective for the cause of Christ. So are you allowing anger? Are you allowing the devil to have any place in your life by allowing anger to come in?
Wow.
And then we have discontentment.
So the root of anger,
The root of
and
anger,
then the root of discontentment.
discontentment.
This one hurt me. This one got me when
It's
she was
hard
teaching
to me.
it.
That's
Oh,
the hardest.
it
I think
hurt.
to me that's the hardest one for me because sometimes I feel like I'm praying like, Lord, I feel like I'm just complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about
Yes.
all this
Yes.
what's going on. And that happens when we are dissatisfied with what we have or we're not content with decisions that have been made.
Oh, wait. So then the root of discontentment, when I wrote this down, I wrote down they didn't do what I think is right.
That's right.
It's like,
Because we're not happy with decisions that's not what I have chosen.
Right. Oh.
I wouldn't have decided that, but in this.
and talk about feuding friends. When
Yes.
hand you something and you don't do what I think you should do, oh my goodness, we gonna feud.
We have to watch that. That's one of
know.
those things
Oh my
that are so
goodness.
easy because
Oh my goodness.
again, everyone is not the same, and just because I think it should be done this way doesn't mean it's the best way because sometimes they see something we don't. And their way actually turns out to be the better and more productive way.
True.
So let's hear from Hebrews 13:5.
Yes, let your conversation be without covetous and be content with such things as you have, for he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
So we need to remember that when we get discontent about things, that He's there. He's with us. And so we have to remember that He's also in the things and the circumstances that are going on around us.
Yeah, wow.
And it's like you said, it's not us, but we got to think, okay, how is God moving in this?
Right.
Let me see what He's doing. So we have anger, discontentment, and then resentment.
Yeah.
To me, resentment is a step up from discontentment because
Yeah.
resentment is a feeling of indignant displeasure.
Oh my goodness.
And not only are you dissatisfied with what you have, you're dissatisfied with what somebody else had, or you're upset because they have that, and you're like,
Man.
why do they have that?
I know.
It's like you don't want people to have good things.
Right, but and it's not just stuff. It can be influence.
Yes.
It can be success.
It's
It
not
can be
just
victories.
possessions.
I know. It can be
It's not just-
attention. Oh my goodness, all of these
It
different
can be
things.
someone's talent that they
Yes.
have.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
God's using them in this way. Why isn't He using me in
Right.
this way? I can do that.
Boy,
you know.
Satan loves to sow that root of resentment in our hearts
Yes.
against a fellow believer,
Yes.
against a friend. You get jealous,
Yes.
don't you?
Yes.
You just get
Jealous.
jealous. And that's what it's called. It's all just the root of it's just jealousy.
Jealousy
And
caused that.
I know.
Resentment.
Yes, I resent you. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Goodness.
Yes. And then number 4, we have first anger,
Yep.
discontentment, resentment,
Uh-huh.
and then bitterness.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
these are kind of growing.
Yeah, I'll say it all culminates
It all
with
culminates
bitterness.
to
Oh my
bitterness.
goodness.
All right. So the water that feeds bitterness is self-interest combined with self-pity. So again, this is about us. We're being about ourselves. All right, so that to me is like, oh, let me stop focusing on myself. I need to focus on this Bible. I need to focus
Right.
on God and what it says.
Wow.
All right, so if we look in Ephesians chapter 4 again, in verse 31, it says, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Yeah.
All right, we've got to we talk about the anger. And the anger sometimes leads to wrath because we get wrathful when we want to do things to people, and that bitterness sets in. And we don't need the bitterness to settle in.
Right.
So,
Review us, and then can we pick it up next week?
yes.
Okay, let's
All
pick
right.
it up. Review us one more
So
time.
these roots that we want to look out of, we want to get the weed killer out. We want to
Yes.
kill them.
Kill
we
the
want to
roots,
kill the root
yes.
of anger, the root of discontentment,
Yes.
the root of resentment, and the root of bitterness.
Yes.
And remember, if you get to bitterness, you let all these other things before grow.
Yes, and we'll talk about it more next
Yes.
week. Yes, I love that. And don't forget Lydia at 11 in her journey to remain cancer free. No, go be amazing today.